What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-Hop Radio shouting. Hey, man, I got my podcast partner in this thing as always. OG Gangster Wicked, the Ghetto Mafia. Wick, what's good with it, my dog? See there, he's still trying to play for the ladies. Wick, what's happening, man?
What's happening, man?
Are you staying safe out here in these streets?
I'm staying. I'm safe as I can be.
Okay.
I've been working out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody been telling me I look good and stuff. So I'm trying to get my dressing together too a little bit. You know, this is a new little kind of like a little silk feel.
Yeah.
Working on my arm for the ladies and stuff. You know, after your prototype comments, you know, what I'm saying, rubbed me the wrong way, and made me get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, I'm doing good, man. How are the people out there?
Man, a lot of folks are in the uproar right now because you know, my mixtapes, they dropped an Instagram post with the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta.
I saw that.
You know, and nobody agreed with it.
Well, you know, I always told you, how that once you drop in, all that stuff is subjective. Who's the best basketball player? Who was the baddest brawl back in the day?
Yeah.
Who got that? Blah 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 blah. So all that kind of stuff is subjective. So it's always going to be, you know, disagreements when it comes to Mount Rushmore, who the best rapper. Now. For context, was it just 4 people? Or
it was just 4 folks. I think it was Rich Homie, Baby, Future, and one other person, Jeezy.
That's the greatest rappers of all time that have come out of Atlanta?
Basically, the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta, them 4 folks right there.
Well, who made the list up first, behind that? That'll tell you a lot about, you know what I'm saying?
And see, that's the thing. It was my mixtape, so it was some young folks.
It was your mixtape?
No, no.
You made that behind?
No, my mixtapes, the website, man.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you said you made it. Okay,
yeah, that's called my mixtape. But they get busy. They've been putting it down for a long time as well. But I think they kind of jumped in there without understanding Atlanta as a whole.
But see, people do that all the time. I say, if you're not from Memphis, Tennessee, don't come talking about Memphis artists. Who's the greatest? If you're not from Houston, Texas, if you're not from Texas, period, and how you a Georgia boy trying to tell Houston people who or Texas people who are the best rappers that ever came up out of there? It might be some people that we never even heard of. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Rap was regionalized for 30 years. People don't understand that. When the internet came, then it went worldwide. So therefore, that's why the sound changed. That's why in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, you had to go to the Southeast for a sound. You had to go to the North for a sound. Thanks. The Southwest for a sound. Thanks. Everyone had their different sound. Now, when a rapper comes out B-High, he can be from New Orleans, he can be from Cali, he can be from New York, and he sound like Lil Baby. Because now all of them sound alike because the internet has bridged the gap. So there's no more regionalized rap anymore. So for a list that you telling me now, I can see putting Jeezy in any argument that there is. Well, first of all, it ain't no top 4. I can see putting Future in any argument that there is. When I look at a Mount Rushmore of anything, I don't look at it as who was the highest paid, who got the most money out of it, because it's always people that come before you to be able to for you to be able to make money.
That's right.
It took Dr. J for Michael Jordan to be able to make money. And Michael Jordan came, and now you got guys coming in the league, Zion Williams now, and they shoe deal as big as what he made his whole career as far as money go. Come in and get $100 million just to wear some shoes. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything grows. So I can give you Future, I can give you Jeezy because of the movements. Future to me was one of the first artists that kind of changed to from being drug dealers to drug users. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how rap went with his thing. What about Pastor Troy? We talk about that right there. One of the first to kind of bridge that gap between street trap, gangster rap to crunk. You know what I'm saying? Rap to what I say. You know what I'm saying? I call it rock and roll rap. You know, back in the day, you know, rock and roll, they jumping them
That's
now,
true.
you know,
That's
and that's
true.
what you got when you got a Pastor Troy that changed it, and Lil Peep. You know, I got to shout out Lil
What
Peep
up,
too,
though,
Pastor
Pete?
Troy and
Troy
Lil
and
Peep.
Pete.
Right, and so you got people that have done movements, and then you got people that just have been products of other people, and they sold records.
Okay, Wick, let me jump back in here, man, and I'm about to put you on the hot seat, man. I need 4. Mount Rushmore. Who was in your 4?
That's hard to say.
I know it's hard, but try to
am I-
just
am I
give me
giving
your
you
4.
okay? Am I giving you 4 of the most successful Atlanta rappers? 4 of the godfathers who, if it wasn't for them, then there would be no other people in that genre. What am I giving you 4 of? 4 can break down into so many different categories. Like basketball, you want the 4 best centers, you want the 4 best power forwards, you want the 4 best point guard. If I say 4 best players, then Allen Iverson may not be in there because I got Wilt Chamberlain, Tim Duncan, everybody over 7 feet in it. You understand what I'm saying? So this thing breaks down into categories. 4 of what?
Well, see, I'm going to put it like this. When you think about Mount Rushmore, it's your favorite people that affected America in the real one. That the founders, the people that just really had that damn impact into the lives of Americans.
So nationally or locally?
The ones that, I'm going to keep it local because it's Atlanta. So I'm going to say the Atlanta people speak for who really ran the city and the state.
Okay, so we cut out everybody opinions from Cali, who don't know Atlanta stuff. If in that case the Mount Rushmore is going to be Outkast. And I'm gonna say not just cast the Dungeon family as a whole.
Just put a DF right there, no faces.
Correct. Jermaine Dupri, So Def as a whole.
Put the afro with the shades right there, no face.
Big Records, Sammy Sam, Baby D, all the DJs that have come from there, coalition DJs, everybody as a whole.
Big Records.
And Ghetto Mafia.
Talk to me then, Wick. So now, I mean, when you say Ghetto Mafia, people are gonna hear you say this and say, "Is Wick always trying to make something about him?" How you put yourself on that Mount Rushmore?
The reason why I put myself on there is because, and we talking to Atlanta people.
That's right.
Because first of all, I was the first. Nino and Wicked was the first rappers out of the city of Atlanta that was out of Georgia. That were talking about trap music, street music, wrapped up in blunts on videos. You understand what I'm saying? Wrapped up in an ashtray on video and was on MTV and BET. In my video, you go back and look at Indicator. I remember trapping late at the store. We're in a hospital with 2 white guys cloning us. You know what that clone represented, Beehive?
What it represented?
It represented T.I.'s. Gucci's, Jeezys. You know what I'm saying? We see that we can make that this type of music right here, that's a genre for it. Because before us, there was no genre for it. And you had, like I said, you had the Hard Boys. You had Sammy Sam.
That's right.
But the campaign wasn't big enough. Bless their heart.
Yeah.
They're my partners. You know, I brought Royal C on my show not too long ago.
Facts.
But they thank Ghetto Mafia because we were able to extend on that and put it out there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? All this came out right around the same time. But like I said, I was the first to be on MTV, on BET, talking about trap music and show the record industry when they were scared. There wouldn't be no T.I.'s, Gucci's, and G's and stuff if it weren't for Ghetto Mafia. We showed the record industry that, hey, this type of music will sell. Now, did I sell more? Nah, rap got bigger. Rap got bigger. Bob Cousy ain't bigger than Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rap grew. It's growing now. So you might have an artist now. Jeezy may have 20 million views on some. An artist will come out right now that you don't even know they got 1 billion views. Because the rap has grown. So we were all a part of growing the rap and handing the baton off to the next people. So in that Indicator video, which if you haven't seen, you need to go look at when they were cloning me and Nino, that's what that represented.
Well,
that there's
see-
going to be people that come after us, and that we have opened up a genre of music that, yeah, there's going to be people that don't sold more records than us. They're going to get bigger deals. They're going to be liked more by by the masses of people, and we will probably be forgotten about. But you still can't take it away. And ain't a hater out there can go and look at that honestly from 1994. Look at that video and see me with BET on the thing, with MTV on the thing, and say
they didn't trapping national. Now, see, my thing is I can't really argue with you too tough with, because I done had folks call my phone and say they heard them songs. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
And they see where the styles were flipped and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to take it from there and expand it to the top 10, because this subject is so touchy. Everybody you just named is from the 90s, nigga. We
Correct.
talking about from 90 all the way up until 2021.
right now you're saying that because of what you said, Beehive, I listened to everything you say.
Yeah.
You said that from Atlanta that the forefather kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
That's why I say it breaks down into categories. Now, if you want to do a route Mount Rushmore of biggest movements. So I'm not saying we had the biggest movement. I'm talking about the impact. We us cast, we showed the world that, hey, this type of music, that there's a market for Atlanta, for one thing. Come down here and bring these labels down here and invest in this. You understand what I'm saying? There's money to be made here. So if you want to go now, if you want to flip it to biggest movements, then there's like you say, there's Jeezy. That was a huge movement.
Yeah.
Gucci movement was huge. Future movement was huge. Because like I said, that transition from drug sellers to drug users. Future made it cool to pop pills, do lean, basically be a J.
Also, be this. Do you think Future, in the back of his mind, thinks about that and says, you know what? I've been talking about using a lot of drugs in this damn music.
I think that's what was going. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does. I mean, he's not retarded. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart brother, so I'm sure that he knew what the music was doing. Now, does he at his age now, as he has matured, is that something he would probably stand on and be proud of as you get older? You kind of, a lot of stuff that you did as younger, you may like, well, maybe I could have did that a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? When I was out there robbing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't helping the culture. We was jumping on all the promoters and beating their heads saying in the city. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't helping the culture. So when I reflect on my behavior, I say, you know what? Maybe I could have did that differently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's where he's at right now. But there was a lot of great movements when it came to this Atlanta rap. So having just 4 people on that, now we want to go to the four best lyricists. We can say 3,000. We can say Ludo. We can say Big Boy. We got to start leaving Big Boy out. CeeLo Green,
CeeLo Green.
That we can say T.I. Yeah, Tip. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what category you say. You can't just say the 4 best. I tell you all the time, if we talking about entertainer, you tell me one that Fabo ain't better than. He should be on the Mount Rushmore. When it comes to, it ain't an artist that in the city of Atlanta that can come behind Fabo on no show and outshine Fabo. I don't seen it. I don't seen all the big ones. When that man come on, Fabo can sing me and your songs.
Yeah.
It don't even matter about the song. He get on there and sing good and all them songs. I'm just crumbling herb. and they with him.
Well, for me, I look at it as the people that really just made an impact and just messed the game up at that time. I look at Future. That run that Future went on was not done before him and ain't been done since. You ain't gonna never see nobody that drop as much music and as many hit singles for summer after summer after summer.
Migos
did their thing, but they still ain't put out as much music as Future. They didn't. Future was dropping mixtapes every day.
Gucci.
Okay. Now, when we talk about Gucci, so now I'm putting Gucci in there in the same boat with Future too. I put Gucci in there because Gucci birthed so many more different artists. If
Absolutely.
Gucci didn't exist, the Atlanta rap scene as we know it wouldn't exist either.
It could have died.
It could have died without Gucci.
Exactly. So he carried this city, you know what I'm saying, for a long time when we had those laws. And that's the good thing about the culture itself. This person, it's a running a marathon. I handed off to you. I did my part. I ran a half a mile. You know what I'm saying? Then you run yours. Then you run yours. And everybody got their thing that creates the body of hip hop in Atlanta. And Gucci was definitely instrumental. So was Future. So was Tip. So was all the people I named. If it weren't for Jermaine Dupri, them with all the music they put out there, all of us as kids sat around.
But see, with Gucci, I gotta put his on another level.
I don't know that now.
No, he gotta go to another level.
Now you're talking about Jermaine Dupri, bruh.
I'm with Jermaine Dupri.
You're talking about Jermaine. You're talking about
I love
TLC.
Jermaine Dupri. I love TLC.
You're talking about the biggest female singing group ever in the history of ever. We're talking about Bow Wows. We're talking about Chris Cross, man.
And you talking about the 90s, man.
You want to talk about a movement?
You're talking about the 90s.
But you're saying an Atlanta movement, so you can't just dismiss the 90s movement. You said Atlanta.
The 90s
you didn't
movement,
say the world. You said Atlanta.
I have to bring it up to 2021 now when Atlanta is pop culture.
Well, that's been a product. That's your product of the moment. You sold out to the moment. It's gonna be in 20 years from now, Future and all these you talking about and Lil Baby them, they gonna be old. So what you gonna say? Well, if it went for Young Man 10,000, then Atlanta wouldn't have never existed because he was the first one that did 3 billion streams.
This is the point I'm making. When it comes to a Gucci, you wouldn't have had no Migos. He co-signed them boys. I mean, Bankroll, Fresh, goddamn Young Thug,
do not do that,
Long Way.
Do not do that, B-High.
Come on.
Do not do that, B-High. You know how I feel about Gucci. What you changing the argument?
No,
Gucci was not. This is not an argument about Gucci's credits. And his impact on Atlanta rap. How did this change to that? What you asked me on the Mount Rushmore of movements, and that's what I'm sticking to. And if we talking about that, we got to talk about Dungeon Family. We got to talk about So Def.
I'm gonna put it like this though.
Gucci.
If you only got 4, Gucci got to be in one of them 4 heads up there.
Obviously,
Gucci
he don't because your people, my rap. You said that was your homie,
but that's why they done pissed everybody out because the niggas was wrong. They was wrong. That's why everybody's pissed off.
Right.
But then after Gucci, I got to give it a Young Thug.
High Thugger on the top 4 in what category?
No, I done seen Thug put on a lot of new folks in this generation. It's like he kind of took the baton from Gucci and applied that from 2015 on up.
Okay, so give me his resume because maybe I didn't see as many people that he has put on.
Well, a lot of these people now you probably these are the young folks. So you got your Lil Keys, you got your Lil Goddess, you got your Gunners, you got you see what I'm saying? You got him and Rich Homie did their thing when they linked up over there at Rich Gang for a minute too as well, but I just know from the whole YSL fam. Them folks, they performing their birthday bash this year. They bringing out the whole gang.
I know.
But I will say I've seen Thug, but then also his sound. A lot of folks are sounding like Thug. I heard Roddy Ricch, he had one of the biggest songs ever, and I thought Young Thug had wrote it. I was like, I'm still waiting on Young Thug to come out and say, I wrote that song for Roddy Ricch.
A lot of that sound and voice and stuff to me came from Wayne. That's what it all.
It started off as a Wayne, but it morphed into something else.
It always does. It comes from Michael Jordan. Got it from Dr. J.
Okay,
he cut the hair. Dr. J had an afro. Yeah, he cut the hair. Yeah, the shorts got longer. The tongue came out. Mm-hmm. But everything morphs into something else.
I agree with that.
You see what I'm saying? They're not going to stay the same. It's not a duplicate.
Well, if you really want to take it there, then with the head HNIC of Atlanta is Kilo Ali, and I'm gonna sit it right there, and I'm done.
I can't argue with that at all.
Okay then.
Because a lot of the singing you talking about, Thugger, I love Thugger too, man. You know, horses don't stop, they ain't going. But if you want to talk about anybody singing on wax, you know what I'm saying, before Key Ali out of Atlanta, that rap, tell me, I'll wait.
It didn't happen.
I will wait.
Yeah.
So to say, okay, well, this artist, he came out, he was the first one who started breaking that thing down, singing on and rapping it, even with Future. Kilo was doing he didn't do it with auto-tune.
Yeah.
He did it just regular.
So
a lot of this music, a lot of this stuff is taken from. You got to always go back to pioneers and stuff. That's why they are called pioneers.
I think that'll be a better way to even do the Mount Rushmore is if you put it in a pioneer perspective, not somebody that came in and did well, who came in and pioneered and blazed a damn trail for other niggas to follow.
Absolutely. Beehive, you're a pioneer. Okay, let me tell you something. So this show right here, you on the first ever did it. You 20, 30 years from now, it's gonna be all kind of Tom, Dick, and Harris that are gonna be doing podcasts. Everybody gonna be doing a podcast. Your grandmama gonna have one, and when you come out of the womb with your child, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta have you a podcast, young man. You understand what I'm saying? And you may get 20 years from now, if you don't sit down, you got your money, you're on the island somewhere, they'll be having these same debates. Who had the biggest impact for the culture on podcasts? There gonna be people gonna be sitting up talking about whoever is out right then.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Beehive.
Yeah. Because he got 10 million, because he got 100 million followers. You see what I'm saying? Nah, I'm with you.
But see, these 300,000 that you got in growing, they are blazing the trail for 20 years from now. That when somebody do a podcast, that all they have to do is do a snippet.
Yeah.
And then they'll be able to go to these different companies and off the rip get them $40, $50 million, and don't have to sit in here and put in the work that you doing every single day.
Oh,
so that don't make them better than you.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna make them they have more impact. Oh man, Futuristic, he got a podcast now. We talking to 2040. Futuristic, he got a podcast now. He jumped out with 30 million people right off the rip. Everybody love his stuff. But if it weren't for Beehive back in 2021, he about 50 years old now.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Beehive in 2021. He used to sit up every day and interview artists after artists after artists after artists. Y'all don't know about him, but let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
And it's because of him that this guy that y'all talking about right now was able to go get $40, $50 million and ain't done nothing.
Answer me this, Wick. I need your top 10. When it comes to Atlanta, who are you putting in your damn top fucking 10?
If I say Cass, Pastor Troy, Raheem the Dream, Kilo Ali, Sammy Sam. I always got to put myself. Future, Tip, Gucci, Jeezy, because I like that type of music.
Yeah.
And this is just hip hop, right?
Yeah, just hip hop.
Everything big on them, man. Everything over there, like I said. You got as far Chris Cross. I mean, I listen to them, bruh. Come on, man. I wore my pants backwards too, bruh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that'll make you jump. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they from Atlanta, like So we forgetting MC Shadi.
What up, though, Shadi? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Edward J.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That started a movement in rap. You know what I'm saying? J tapes. You see what I'm saying? So everything birthed something, man. I salute all the pioneers from back in the day, and as well as all the artists from Atlanta that took the baton and, like you said, morphed it into something else.
Yeah.
We didn't give it to you for it to remain the same.
Yeah.
Your ancestors didn't give you stuff Beehive and give you the game and stuff for you to sit there and do exactly what they did. What they wanted you to do. What they wanted you to be better.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
You're right. You see what I'm saying? So if they looked down on you and you were still into slavery and get smacked across your back, us as a black people, we would have failed.
In my top 10, I have a lot of people that I love their music, and then the ones that took the torch and ran with it. Of course, Cass is number one. And see, you know what? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna just be real when it come to Outkast, man. They have to. Well, I don't even know if they even fuck. I don't even know if they care. Okay, that's number one.
That's number
I don't
one.
even know if they care.
Right.
They number one. We all know that they number one. But you know, in this industry or in these conversations, you kind of need Cass to peek their head out every now and then, just to let niggas know that we still on the throne. We still here. Now, after you done did the most, you done went diamond and did more than every damn artist ever, and the analytics state that you are the greatest. We understand that. But just for the culture period, you still kind of need to see Dre. You still need to see Big hit these platforms and let folks know who they is, because these young folks don't have a damn clue. All they hearing is, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. They don't even know about Southern Playalistic, ATL, and the Criminal. They starting at Steak Only, a lot of them. Or the Love Below and Speak About. That's where they starting at, so they don't even understand what they did to the Atlanta culture. And you need those kind of people to kind of come out and say, yeah, man, we made music here. This is why we so great. You need to check out these songs, because also that'll impact and influence the culture of the city as it is when you got younger folks listening to that kind of music. But if you ain't waving your hand and letting folks know that, we got it, we the ones who really set the tone for this, they gonna continue to follow a different trajectory.
They behind it, but it's too, and I'm gonna let you get back to that. They probably tired.
And I don't blame them.
When you carried a city, it carried a culture almost, a region, and for 20 years,
my God,
when people broke barriers down, been in the spotlight since pretty much kids, 18, 19-year-olds. It get to a point where they might have just I'm gonna run out, I'm gonna go off in the sunset. I left the game in a good way. We left it in good hands. And I'm gonna trust that the young kids that we left it to will be able to make their own way. That's another way also to kind of look at it too. But I agree with you. I do wish that they would stand on the top of, Peachtree Towers and say, hey, check out this right here, check out this, and still kind of lead the city. But some people just, man, you get tired and you run off into the sunset.
Muhammad Ali, 1996. Body shaking hard. That didn't stop him from lighting that damn Olympic torch. And he was old as hell. And Muhammad Ali did his damage back in the 60s and 70s.
Absolutely.
But in 96, he still lit that Olympic torch, and he couldn't even barely speak and walk, but he knew what he symbolized. And who he was not who he was. But somebody said, who is this Muhammad Ali guy, and why do they have him lighting the Olympic torch in Atlanta?
Right. Absolutely.
So when folks go and research that stuff, by knowing their history, they can make the future just a little bit more better.
Right.
Because what's happening is the culture is starting to go to hell, which is leading me, and I hate to have to change the subject, but I just got to go ahead and go where the spirit leads me. And I have to ask you this question right here, Wick, because see, this is my point that I'm trying to make. The reason why it's important for Cass to let folks know that they went diamond and they was the biggest thing out of Atlanta, saying positive culture, forward moving stuff. Because Megan Thee Stallion says that she wants to change the meaning of the word thought, and whole, and bring that on back in and own it. And take the venom out of it, and you can be a thought and you can be a hoe, and it's not as bad. Similar to Amber Rose with the slut walk, or how people like to say we reclaiming the word nigga. What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, my thing has always been a word is just a word. It's all subjective. That's just too deep, and it's too big to try to dissect that. There's so many layers to a word and what a word means. I know it's me as a man, what I'm looking for in a woman, and whatever word I put on that, is just a word. So I mean,
I'm gonna have to snap.
What does a thought entail? I mean, what does it entail?
Would you marry a hoe?
Depending on the definition of a hoe. A hoe to me, but a bitch to everybody else in the streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said.
Well, no, we ain't talking about that kind of hoe.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I marry.
Everybody would marry a freak in the sheet and a woman in the streets. Right. We all gonna do that.
So the word freak at one point was bad.
Yeah. But see,
now it has been taken back a claim.
Yeah.
And now you don't look at it, you say my woman a freak to me. That's mine. That's my girl.
Now that's a good point you got there, Wick. See, the way I'm looking at it from a socialization standpoint.
What other niggas say that? What other guys say that a hoe is?
Also for kids. See, music is a socialization agent. So me growing up listening to the kind of music that I listen to, it helped to socialize me into a certain type of guy. Correct. I wasn't listening to gospel music growing up, so I wasn't no gospel nigga in these streets. You didn't listen to gospel? I heard it with my grandma, but my grandma wasn't in the hood with me. You see what I'm saying? Even though my grandma was in the hood, we listened. So when you put it that way, I did hear gospel, but it was inside my grandma's house. When I got back out here in these streets, it was real.
You didn't.
You see what I'm saying? My whole thing is when you look at women and how much we love them. And you look at your mama. See, that's my whole thing. These women have to be people's mamas.
Yeah, but your mother was a freak to your daddy. You see what I'm saying? So you gonna look at your mama different beyond then. Your daddy looked at you, damn, that's my girl. Remember on Baby Boy, he said, see, you want your mama to be your lady, but
well, see, this is the he snapped. But see, no, this is the point I'm getting at with it. I don't think that she's saying a thought to one man. She's saying a thought out here in these goddamn streets.
Right.
She ain't talking about a hoe to one man.
What we know as our definition of what a hoe is.
You see what I'm saying?
What you would need to know, in all seriousness, is if you would have to talk to this lady. Talk to Megan Thee Stallion and say, okay, this word that you're using, what does that entail for you? You may find out that what she thinks a thought is not what you think a thought is. You understand what I'm saying? She may think a thought is a tease, but a nigga don't ever get no honey.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? Well, our definition was back in, like we say, the 90s. Our thought was mean. All us took in the bando. You know what I'm saying? So we may have two different definitions. Of what a thought is. So you would need to get her definition and be clear on what it is before you judge it from a word.
And so I feel what you're saying on that as well, Wick. But see, my thing is these kids and this future, I mean,
they could get it misconstrued.
They don't get socialized. I mean, it's just like with drug dealing music and drug using music. That's for true. Young men. Nigga, if you grow up listening to Let Me Drink Some Lean, Let Me Goddamn Pop a Molly and everything, you're going to go out there and do that shit. Because that's just what you're listening to on a regular basis.
Not all, but yes.
Not all of them, but for the most part, if you in the damn hood and you ain't got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to do, you going to try different things because you going to emulate your favorite rappers. See, that's the other issue. So this is the point I'm making. When you got folks growing up in these broken homes and they don't have real people to look up to, the closest thing to it to help them socialize are these entertainers. That's the people true. That you see, that you listening to. You listening to these people every day. Absolutely. You riding to these folks every day. You watching these folks play sports. So when folks say that I don't want to be a role model, no. You have no choice but to be to those that don't have that at home.
And I agree with you, and that's kind of what, and I want to segue into a guy named Kwame Brown. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what he was saying in his message. If you don't know about, this guy, I look at a lot of videos he be talking about on that. I ain't gonna get into a bunch of the mess of it. Yeah. But he has a message out there now that what you say right now, it affects his children.
Yeah,
his not just him, but everybody around him that look up to him in his family and in his community. Mm-hmm. So I get exactly what you're saying. As an entertainer, as a person that has a voice and a platform, when you do get out of here and be reckless on those platforms, it does it does hurt the culture of people. But a lot of these kids that you asking to get on these platforms are immature themselves. So to ask a 24, 25-year-old to get up on a platform and to be consciously aware, everybody is not Goody Mob and Outkast. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna get on and talk about what they are doing right now, and it's probably popping pills and drinking lean.
Everybody's not Goody Mob and Outkast, but there are a lot of Goody Mobs and Outcasts and Lauryn Hills out here. And see, my whole thing is too, you need for the Lauryn Hills to peek her head back out again and say, I made money. I was rich and successful
doing that,
putting out this positive music. See, that's the other part. You got to show the success in positivity. If folks don't see the success and positivity, nobody's gonna want to be positive because there ain't no money in that shit.
I got it. That's an excellent point. You got me right there. So now I see. Yeah, I agree with you. If it is on, your Lauryn Hills, and now I see what you say. Andre 3000s them to get out here and say, okay, look, if I want to keep this particular genre of music going, then let me come out here and mold the new thinkers and the new rappers of that. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right with that. So now that you put it in that context, I get it.
Now I got to speak on the responsibility of it all, though, because see, what I do know is that controversy sells. Sex sells. Negativity sells. But at what point do we draw the line and say, you know what, as a responsible adult in my community, I'm going to sell these folks some soul food?
It's hard to do that because everything that you said right there that sells is true. But the adults that are controlling all that type of content are selling it to kids, and that's what's exciting to kids. See, the only thing is, it's just not, you're not a consumer anymore. Mm-hmm. As you get a certain age, ain't nobody trying to sell you nothing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to sell it to your child. So they want to know what moves your child. You understand what I'm saying? So eating unhealthy, sex, drugs, everything that's negative for them. That's what they're preying on your kids. So it's not trying to get out here and fight a war against no 24, 25-year-old. It's what I talk to you all the time about, because there's OGs that are pushing all the bullshit. The kids ain't pushing the bullshit. They are the bullshit. Who's promoting and pushing the bullshit is the OGs, and that's head of Fortune 500 companies, the head of these record labels. Like I say, these record labels now that be out, they don't got to this right here. You have a King Von, for instance, gun him down. Okay, well, who's next in line? We got Lil Durk. Push him on up to the assembly line next. Let him talk about King Von and his raps and stuff. When he get gunned down, who's next? Push that one on up. He'll talk about the both of them right there, and the record labels don't care nothing about it. They profiting off of death.
And that's my whole point. When did it get to the point to where we allow people to take our culture and profit off of death?
Because we're not
debauchery.
Because we're rioting and we looting and everything about something that we physically see. If we see that police or that white man or something put his hands on your sister or something, we see it right there, then that sparks the outrage. But if it's a silent killer, it don't seem as important to us. So if the music that's coming out right now is turning our kids into junkies and making the crime rate rise, if we don't see it right that second, we are not as outraged about it. That's what we should be out here riding about. We should be out in front of Universal Records, Sony Records. This is what you gonna drop right here, or we gonna start shutting it down.
Answer me this, Wick. Cause see, I ain't never been no rapper, and I ain't never been on television and sold out no shows. So when Ghetto Mafia hit, and y'all was making that trap music, real street music, do you feel like that young Wicked would have been able to pivot into something positive at that time? Or what were the pressures for you in that position at that time?
The pressures for me at this particular time was no pressure, because I was doing exactly what guys my age were doing for the most part. You know what I'm saying? There were positive guys from our hood, and they were lame. You know, he lame, or you know, they was inspiring to be a lawyer. They were, oh man, he getting up going to work every day.
Yeah,
he doing this. Let me tell you something, Beehive.
Talk to me.
Every morning, Monday through Friday, right? If you look on I-20 out here, if you look on 285. It's wall-to-wall traffic, right?
That's right.
There are more people getting up, going to work, than that are laying at home doing nothing and doing drugs.
My God.
So why don't the music and stuff reflect that to the millions that are getting up Monday through Friday? Why does all our music cater to the ones that are sitting their ass on the couch at the house doing drugs?
But see, that's what my question was to you at that time. Do you feel like you could have changed your music at that time? Being a young man, is it something that you thought about or resonated with you?
It didn't resonate with me because I felt cool about it because, you know, hey, you know, there were people out there that were doing what I was doing, which was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not giving nothing back to the community. You know, now there will be people that argue, say, okay, well, you did give something back to the community, Wick. I did make raps about, you know, like Boys in Blue, different things about police brutality, you know, getting pulled over.
Okay.
That type of stuff.
But it was there, though. See, it was there.
Right, and I was telling, so I was a voice for the voiceless.
Yeah.
But my thing to you, behind, I told you this last time, at 22, 23, 24, if we can save these young men, that these little Dirks and these rappers that I love, the Babies and the YFN and Lucci's and stuff, if we can save them to get them to 40 or 50, they're not going to think the same.
Yeah.
Our thing as OGs is going into these labels, going to boycott these. Look, we need to get these artists to a certain age so that they can be a benefit back to us.
Well, answer me this though.
That's
Wick.
on us. It don't take nothing else to do that. And you said that's what we need Andre 3000 to come back out for. That's what we need Lauryn Hill to come back out to tell our young women that there's money in this right here. This is not going to be tolerated. Hey, let me open up a label for this type of music right here, and then get with other like-minded people black people and white people that want to see this type of movement, this culture going forward this type of way.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're sitting back on our ass talking about it, me and you, and millions like us. We want to do something about it. We see it's a problem, but we just talking.